It is 10:10. We're locking the doors. Check. Yo, folks. Just hang on a second, Lauren. Wait. Good. Every minute we start late, you get an extra half hour at the end of class. How's that sound? Okay, folks, we're doing roll. Not by us. We had someone come in late.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay.
All right.
So, how you folks feeling? So I know this doesn't pertain to you so much, but I'm just going to tell you how scared the second year should be at this point. We tell them it's halves, right? Half presentation, halves process grade. We're way past that point.
Yeah, really.
You folks only have about 3 or 4 weeks left, really, counting breaks in there.
Can you imagine? This is going that fast, guys. You're going to be over. This is all going to be done in a couple weeks, 3 more weeks.
BBW World's kind of kicking. You folks are kicking it. It looks like you're learning how to put things together. We got to make sure we're paying attention to the right things, though. I mean, the mechanics you're coming up with, way cool, right? Some of the dynamics you have going, way cool. But in this class, we're focusing on setting up good questions for your users, your guests, and letting them get the answers in a cool way that shows emotion, that describes character, those things. That's what we're trying to do here. And just to be extremely clear on this last project, we are way more interested in your process. So that means the pitch you're giving next week, you're going to get feedback on that. We're going to have critique sessions the following week, so you're going to get feedback on how you're processing this, how your team dynamics working, if you're using storyboards, how you're coming up with ideas. The team came up with 5 ideas. How do you pick the one, right? 5 great ideas. How do we decide on which one? And then when that one starts failing, how do we not get angry that we didn't do mine, because mine would have been so much better, right? So these are the kinds of things we really are paying attention to in this last project. This is stepping you into the next semester. This is getting you ready to think process next semester. Next semester, all the way to quarters, you have 4 weeks where you aren't going to be doing much except asking questions. It's like the setup to the story. Who, what, where, when, why of your project. You coders are going to be anxious to start hammering code. You artists are going to be anxious to start but we need the storyboards. We need the process. We need the content. We need the questions asked first. So that's what this project is going to be all about.
Yeah, so I sent out, I don't know if you all watched it, but I sent out that Kurt Vonnegut thing about the stories, short stories, the structure of stories, hoping that may help you guys when you have to do your final project, even with your BBW worlds. It just consolidates the idea of what a story is made of, how you can make it so simple, so you don't have to make it so convoluted. So I hope you all watched that, and I hope that helped.
We talk about story, and we talk about how tough story is. You folks know this, right? And we all have our own taste. So what I think is a good story is not necessarily a good story for you. We're talking about foundation. So in this last session, if everyone could just stay a little bit energized and pay attention to the feedback we're given, because it does pertain to you too, right? Try to listen to why we're saying things, not necessarily the what. And we got Mike again.
Yay, Mike.
So when you hear us up here, and Mike is great at talking things through when he's playing, listen to what he's saying, but pay attention to when he's saying it and why he's saying it. That's just as important. And a lot of you should be watching the audience more than your screen. You know what's on your screen. You've done this many hours. But seeing the audience react is huge. Knowing if they're going to do and respond the way you hope they would. That's what you're trying to pay attention to. Good? We have 13 through 18 today.
You.
There might be a short break at the end of this class right before 18. There you go, 13, come on up. Lauren, you're the only one you're going to be managing mics. Yeah, let's hear it for Lauren. She's kicking today too. Be nice to her, she's here alone. I don't want to throw you right in. Are you ready to go right in?
Throw them right in. Mike's used to be thrown in.
Who would like a mic? Okay.
I'm going to get by you, Mike. Let me get on the other side. There you go.
Coffee. She needs coffee. All right. I was wondering where the tablet on the side was going. So clever. So, BVW team planning.
哦，是看不出来这是情侣吵架。划船。Before you go,
Yes?
I do encourage you to choose some obviously wrong choices.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously wrong. Umbrella. What if I repick umbrella?
It's gonna have the same.
Okay. You wanted me to be a distractor. I'm going all the way with distracting. Okay. I won't do that anymore.
Anything else?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what this is. I'm going to sample some things here.
All right.
This is really good. I have one silly and one real. So
Yes.
silly. And real. The music's really good, and the change in camera angle is really good, and you got the audience in there immediately. Yay.
Just step out till you see the light in your eyes, and you know you're in the right place. There you go. I know it's weird because you got to turn to see Mike.
Well, I'll step up here. My back can be to everybody. That's fine. That was really well done. I wasn't sure because it was a while before I got to use on the pad on the side, but it registers very clearly as a pad. And it's like, oh, that's the pad in the scene. Oh, I have a magic pad. Oh, I get to make these choices at different moments that I see. I'm incredibly depressed. Oh, I got a magic pad. This is pretty neat. I'm not so depressed. Oh, I feel my spirit's uplifted. I'm willing to just be sent off, and maybe at the end, is that me that changes into a little icon to then carry on that goodness and magic for other people in the future? Was that the intent of the last scene transition?
Like, why did scenes for transitions?
The end. Did the main character who was drawing and making selections and doing the magic, did that main character disappear into the heavens and become a paper character to be carried on by other people?
Yeah, it's just like the real person turns into the 2D drawing.
Yeah.
So ideally, we can change things from like 2D drawing to real object, and then the name was like the opposite one. So it's just like changing the real person to back to a 2D.
Right, and that's what I took from
Yes.
it. And it's just there, you left a little magic and a little flexibility in interpretation, which is great. I actually like stories like that, so I can kind of read in my own ending. But it was very positive. It, started up, down, went up, and it was very playful. You added a lot of humor moments, so I'm glad you had those as well with the other things I could pick off on the side. And I really liked when I was being attacked, you use that downward angle where those aggressors are looking down at me. So good choices of the angles to deliver. And like I mentioned, the good choice of that background audio to kind of have me either on my journey or in a moment. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
So the connection of the tablet, we saw the moment it hit, right? I saw the tablet sitting on the wall, and then as soon as he felt the drawing, then we made the connection to there. So making connections was nice. I agree. There's some really nice planned out shots in here. I'm hoping that. I think some of them just happen by chance, like when you're sitting at the table at the beginning and you're tired, the reflection in the window of the people walking by gave us the busy world going by, that kind of stuff. Was pleasant to me. I don't know if you planned that kind of stuff, but it worked out real well. So we got to just be careful. I mean, you didn't necessarily do this, but folks, when you establish something, whether it's a fight or a love scene or whatever, we don't have to show a whole lot of it. Once we establish it, then we can move on. You folks, I think you had just enough time. Any longer, it would have felt like we were dragging too long on something, but I think you did a good job there. The audio, you got a couple comments on audio. Mike mentioned audio. Whoever went through and picked out the selections for this really thought about what they were doing. So I did give you a lot of credit on that. And the acting, even simple stuff was brought out. The comedy was pulled off. There were some good moments in there too. So I'll hand off to Ralph.
Yeah, I would like to see this thing keep going. I enjoyed it so much that I would have liked to have seen different situations happening. And actually, this could have been a good pitch for a project next semester, doing something like this. But anyway, a great audio. I agree with the audio. The visuals were good. The point of view from behind your head, watching you go through this, it was great, and it was awesome. The acting was good. Everything looked really good. So I just wanted to see it go. I wanted to see more of it. I was sad when it stopped. I said, "Oh, come on, give me one more interaction, one more moment." But I thought it was excellent. I thought it was really good.
The mechanic fit your story. The mechanic felt good. I was part of the drawing. And seeing the swipe into the world felt good to me. That stuff, that chain from there into the story felt really good. And the mechanic was neat. Like, oh, I'm actually drawing this stuff. So that did help your story. The end, I put together my own end too, and it sort of matched where Mike was going, but I was happy with it. It concluded in my head. I don't know if it matches everyone else, but it was good enough for me.
Yeah,
So,
I thought too the notepad was a really clever way of doing this. You know, I've seen things like this before, where you kind of determine the future of a person or an interaction, but it was really clever how you set it up with the notepad and at the beginning, and then this here as well.
the other moment you did, and I don't know if you meant to do this, at the beginning we see the sadness and then somebody noticing the sadness and wanting to help. And then at the end, that's why it tied together to me at the end. Because you gave me the reason at the beginning to tie it together at the end. Without that at the beginning, yeah?
Yeah, so it was one of the things you did was like the phrase like pass it on. It's like the idea.
Pass it on. Nice.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, real good.
Excellent. Very good, guys. Nice
Thank
work.
you.
All right, we're gonna all take part in the next one, I believe. So we got team 14 come up.
Team 14, come on up. And for those who came in late, make sure you see Lauren at the end of class to let her know that you've come in late and you're not marked down as absent.
Alrighty. Just a reminder, the reason we have you put audio in your logos is so we can set audio. That helps us a lot. All right, so we got, I'm not going to explain. Let's see, I'm bringing it. There's some nice looking shots in here.
Do you have to click the top middle?
I don't
To get the
think-
choice?
I did not the last few times, I don't think.
So it just had, okay.
All righty. So I guess I'm going to make a decision. So we're deciding if we're going, I'm going to say, okay. I got color. All righty.
There's the arrows at the top again.
Oh. Oh.
And now if you click on the logo, that's the credits at the upper left.
Upper left
Yeah,
logo? Oh.
yeah, you can scroll down.
Come on up. So the cinematography of this one worked for me. It felt serious. I fell into the character. So visually telling your story, I think you did a pretty decent job at that. I felt the anguish. I felt the frustration. The flashback from the happy graduating into the depression worked for me. I didn't feel a lot that I was contributing a lot, and then I finally got to a decision. So if this had a little more decisions making process, and then I would have felt a little more part of it. It felt like I was just watching a lot, which was still okay. It brought me forward. So the decision, the other one was fire. The other one I'm thinking I would have argued. Is that correct? And what would have happened? Because the other one I got depressed, packed up and left, and went home and drank.
The first one, you already choose the upside. The upside one. Another option is just be angry to boss
Right.
and leave. Yeah, almost the same result. Yeah.
Okay.
It still would have progressed the story in a similar way. It just would have been a slightly different scene in terms of how you responded to the boss. And I think we had like a security guard escorting you to your desk rather than just you going there on your own.
Got it. Okay, so when users are interacting with a story, I'll just talk about myself. I'm always guessing, oh, what if I would have done the, right? So if that's where my mind, I was already putting together my story. Regardless of what you just told me, I already knew that I would have fought. So that worked. The end was a little abrupt. So I don't know if was it as planned and intended, or did you run out of time?
We ended up making a lot of changes to how the interactions worked and whether we went for actual like diverging paths versus this one where it was more user interaction to drive the story forward, but not so much diverging paths.
Yep.
So I think somewhere along the lines in terms of adapting the story, it got a little shortened.
Understood. And you know, we got to think about scope. When we do make these trees, they get out of control fast. So the fact that you kept bringing it back to a path is fine. And I think you could have found one or two just interactions that made me feel like it did feel like I moved the story a little bit. And at the end, I did make a decision on the phone. I don't know what the other ones would have done in my imagination. I don't care what it done technically. So there you go. I'll hand it off.
Was that you revealing the color, turning the black to
Yes,
color?
that made a huge
Was
difference.
that you doing that?
Yes,
Like
that was-
swiping at your cursor across the screen? Okay.
I forgot to bring that up. Thanks, Ralph. The thing was, at the end, it did feel abrupt, but then when you gave me that, I put it all together. It was like, oh, my friends are the ones that made me feel, right? I saw us all dance, and I figured that, but that made me feel. That was a good moment there. That reveal was really good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I agree with that. Was a good moment, and it kind of put a nice closure on the piece. But I thought the images were great, but it seemed like we spent more time on images and not enough time on making choices, interactive storytelling. And I would have liked to see maybe another couple more touch points there. Would have, you know, if John wouldn't have picked the head exploding, was that you said? Was that a head exploding?
One was the depression or whatever, and the
Well,
other one was the
if I
fire.
would have picked the one on the left, what would have taken to me? Where would I have gone? A different path?
Not really. Actually, we have only one path. So,
So it doesn't matter what I picked; it would be the same thing.
But from my understanding, one was me getting depressed and leaving. The other one was me fighting with the boss.
Yes.
Yeah, so it would have been a different scene, but same
That's what I was asking,
story.
whether the scene
Yeah.
would have been different, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And I thought it took a while to get there, though, for you, too. It seemed like it was like a ramp up to get to a point where you made a decision. But the story was told. You did a nice job there telling that story visually, so that
Yes.
worked out well.
The visuals were nice.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Yeah, the money shots that I really liked was when you had in color the retrospective sitting at your desk, coming in the office for the first time, going through things, then you start to lose the color, then you start to show more and more body posture of getting more and more depressed. So you showed visually what you later showed with the arrow going downward. So you delivered that message twice, which is great, because now, in case I missed it in one, it gets reinforced in another. It's real tricky to pull out all the symbols, especially on first viewing of something. So it's nice that you reinforce that message. The symbols that are in the UI are important because they might also get missed. You can be really creative and have a lot of artistic flair, like anger with the flame, that registered for everybody is, oh, you're gonna be angry. The other, the water dumping on your head, being like, I'm getting dumped on depressed, maybe that's the way I read it, but maybe that the depressed choice, that's not the way John announced it, and maybe that icon was being a little too symbolic, a little too creative for a first glance registering. So you have to be careful. The real obvious symbols, you lose your artistic flair, but they're obvious. As you start to fold in more and more symbolism, it's like, oh, am I really gonna land the message I want with this? And same thing with that arrows on the top as kind of a continue action. Maybe that's too subtle. Maybe, I'm not sure if you would change that after you see how it was played through. But yeah, I got the message. I like some of the shots you used. I really like that loss of color and that sequence where I became depressed.
So just to be clear, I never clicked on that top thing. Was it just a rollover, or was it just randomly just moving ahead?
The top was just a rollover.
Oh, it was a rollover. So
Yes.
there should be some kind of trigger that showed me there was action when I rolled over it. It's not giving me that feedback, so I did not catch that.
So what did you catch? You could have clicked on the arrow on the top?
I tried clicking the first time, and the second time I did not click, so I didn't think I was making a difference. So I held back, and I wasn't relating that it worked. So the first click
So
threw
you
me.
had to wait till it happens naturally?
It just so happened that I kept going up there and hitting it.
Yeah, I think that was just kind of an artifact of our web development process.
Yeah.
We talked about switching that over to a click to give that feedback, and I guess it just
So-
never got to that point. So
So let's just talk about story. What would have been nice is if you would have brought that down into the world a little bit. If I rolled on top of something in the story to move me forward rather than get me out into the UI to get the story.
So the constellation of the little circles going across the screen, floating around, was just placeholder?
So the background was supposed to help build up the, I guess, theming of the emotion. So for the beginning part, there's the grayscale triangles bouncing around at a much slower pace, and then changing to the colorful circles representing whenever the character is in a happier mental state. That was intentional. That was just kind of put in last minute because of my own skill with JavaScript. So we kind of had a little bit of a technical.
That's a good idea, a good
Struggle.
premise, right? And if you built on that, even the color changing and those things works
Yeah.
well, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Make sure you check your comments. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, we've got team 15, I believe. And Mike, me and you are both going to do this one.
Okay. Do I have to drive up there? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, as soon as I start this, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to be the right, I'll tell you which one I'm going to be.
Do I need to read small stuff?
Oh, you use the arrows to select, not a click.
There will be 2 views, so you are acting as the left one.
Okay.
Okay, so John is control right of the screen, and Mike's control the left, and John will be the black hat.
I'm the one
character.
on this side.
Yeah.
Okay, you folks
And
can go, get
you're
away,
the-
go to the door, get away from
You're
us.
on this
Go,
side.
I'm
go.
this side.
And you are the with the red hat.
This is me.
Yeah.
This is you.
That was me looking. This is you. So you pick an arrow, right or left. No, don't click. It's an arrow thing. There you go.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We're bad.
That's you again.
I'm gonna wipe it up.
So I'm in the red cap. Okay, this is me. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm red hat. Yeah.
No, I'm. Oh, okay.
Yay, money. We're good.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
Yes.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
We're not so good.
I like the split thing. I like that we're getting two different. Ah.
Wow.
We're good.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh.
Come on out.
Really nice music. You put me in the mood with the music. I knew we were kind of going through this trial, and I thought the trial, I wanted to cooperate, but you made me start to question whether I can trust my partner, which was great.
Yes.
So you sort of set me up, so should I betray him? But it's like, I'm just not going to betray him because I want to see where that goes. And that actually landed in a really neat spot. So I'm very glad the way you landed it. I'm not sure if the ending message will change based on what we did inside the police station. If it does, even more power to you, because I thought it was a very clever ending for not betraying the partner, but, oh my gosh, I can't trust him because I'm going to be killed later. So that was just great, really clever use, really nice setup, really nice pacing, and good choices where I felt like we were doing things that mattered for our collective mission. So that was good job.
Yeah, I like some of the shots. Some of the shots work real well. I liked when we split. What was the one show? I think I might have told them about Time Code. It's 4 quadrants that you watch the movie all at one time.
Yeah, and they're all connected.
That's
Yeah.
what this felt like to me. It was
Yeah.
kind of cool when it splits apart, and I'm trying to. The only thing I wish you would have done is define my character earlier. I wish I would have known exactly who I was at the beginning. It went a little fast for me, and it took me a little while to figure out who I was.
Yeah, I knew when I was wiping my print, I knew I'm definitely the red hat. So even though you said you're the red hat, it's like, no, I'm the red hat.
You got it. Okay, yeah, I was confused at the beginning, but then I finally caught on to that. I thought it worked out well. I liked it felt like I was actually making the thing move forward. You feel like it?
Yeah, I felt like I had agency, like I was really
You did
doing
feel
things that
that?
mattered.
You felt
Yeah,
like you had agency?
yeah.
And you felt you had agency as
Yeah,
well?
yeah.
Do we want to tell the class?
No,
No?
I don't think they
Okay,
need to know
let's
anything.
keep it
I
secret.
rehearsed this, is what I'm saying. I'll just say that. The one of my favorite moments was the unrehearsed, where you almost hit the flower over, and then the next person. I did get a little bit of character at the beginning. I did get a little bit of that, where one just got angry at the other one, but maybe a little more of that would have helped us define the characters a little better. I would have liked to figure out the difference a little more. If I had to hit you on story a little bit, that's where I would have went.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool project. You guys talked to me about this, and I'm thinking, I don't know how you're going to do this, but it actually worked out well. And I have to say, one of the things you guys did really, really good is you paid attention to detail. And what I mean by that is locations, costumes,
Yes.
All handcuffs. We had the guy handcuffs, and I've seen so many times people try to play a cop, and they're just someone dressed like that. But you had the hat on.
In the dark room, too.
You shot in front of the police office. You
Yes.
came out of looking like what was a bank downtown, 333. All that stuff works so well to convince an audience that, bring him into the story, the suspension of disbelief idea. So the handcuffs, like I said, attention to detail was excellent. And the way you guys are dressed, too, as robbers, as cat burglars, was really good. All that was cool. I wasn't quite sure I understood what you guys were doing and what kind of agency you had. I was watching it, I kept looking back and see if I could see some sort of correlation between what was happening on the screen and what you were doing on the keyboard. And I don't know if I did or not.
It's always, like I said, it's always the regret or the wonder what, right? Wonder if I would have selected the other one. I'm always putting that story together in my head when I move forward, no matter what. But I felt like I was making...
No, and the visuals look great. It really shot well.
Another moment I want to call out to whoever the artist is, at the beginning, the building transition thing, the map transition into the building. That was pretty nice. Who did that?
Yeah.
But you could see how this can even develop more. All of you should be thinking of where you would take your... it's funny, when I turn to the class, everybody looks up right away, because they're all... yeah, wake up! But it'd be interesting to think your process through further, right? Where would you take this? How could you make it better? What would you have done, kind of thing. Good?
Yeah, really nice. Really nice work,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you.
Welcome back, class. Okay, we're going to 16. Come on up.
Was it hard?
Okay. This
Really hard?
You up for another one?
Was it a really difficult?
This is fun. I could program in my office or play.
yeah, there you go.
Make it all work? Was it pretty
Everybody good?
easy? That you anticipate. One anticipates.
Very clever. I click next, I walk. Okay. My foot's the same size though. Draw your dream. Okay, you're getting programmer art. Programmer art. Let's see. Trying to draw. I just want to draw a tree. Let's see, how do I draw? Oh, I get to color. I don't get to draw. Okay. Pink,
There you go.
blue. We're doing this on purpose. Yeah, orange. Gray. Everybody's getting gray pants. And we're going red shoes. There we go. Green sun. All right, we're gonna be weird. Black sun. There. Ooh. I didn't color in the hair on purpose, just to see what's up. Okay, there we are. Aww. 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 It's because of the black sun. My own fault.
That's right. You did it to yourself.
Yep. Aww.
Sound effects.
Yeah, we're pretty low right now. Let's clean up. Woo! Okay, we feel better. All the dirt's on this rag. Oh no, no, no! You know, I call it a black sun, but not really. Oh. Okay, this is better. It was my dream. Too bad there's not any ally out there. Someone that would have been nice. Ooh, I should have went over there.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
Come on up. So, what did you know? What was going on?
Yeah. So I was growing up in the beginning, and I was kind of walking up and growing up into a child that's then going to school where I have to deal with my peers. And dealing with the peers is always this issue where I want to be part of that peer group. And I also get to express my individualism by being able to draw what I want. But when I drew what I want, I got peer rejection, and it depressed me. And then I got peer rejection in the lunchroom, and that depressed me more. And then I got dumped in the locker with dirt and maybe a practical joke, and I got depressed even more, even though I was able to clean myself up. So I felt so depressed. I'm hoping I only felt like I should fall off a cliff, but then I kind of thought back, like, oh, could I have done anything else? And maybe I could have looked further in the lunchroom for an ally, and off to the side, there was a hint that, oh, maybe if I would have sat over there instead, I would have had an ally, could have got my enthusiasm and my self-appreciation higher to not be in such a depressed mood. That's what I read from this.
So if he would have, did it matter what colors he chose in the painting?
I don't think so. I think
So it didn't matter? Because you kept saying, oh, I shouldn't have made the sun
that was
black.
me reading into the story, but I didn't think it mattered what I drew, but I knew I was going to be depressed. There was no way for them to like my drawing, right?
Actually, yeah, because it was only one of our earlier decision that if we can choose color to matter the whole storyline, but I think that's already a little bit too late to change that. But yeah, actually, the color actually just simple interactions for the guests to choose the color palette.
Right, and no matter what I drew, I was going to get that reaction. The class was going to laugh at me.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be the boy, and he likes drawing, and you can also draw.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that came through. Yeah, and that was good. But you are right, Ralph. It was more on rails in that sense. I didn't get.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I kept thinking it would have been really cool if that could have been the case. That you could have, if you would have made the sun bright orange or yellow, it would have been a happier.
Yeah, but I understand the complexity of that. The one moment where I thought maybe you were going to do something is when I cleaned myself up. I thought that might have lifted me out of depression, that if I did not clean myself up, I stay super depressed. If I clean myself up, I'm on the path to recovery. But I don't think that mattered either, right? Whether I cleaned myself up, I guess I had to clean myself up to get to the next step. And so you didn't really read more into that.
Yeah, it's a linear narrative story.
So art, nice art. I read into the drawing a little different. I drew as an artist. I figured no matter what I did, people were going to make fun of it, and it was going to, because I couldn't have done any better. Even if I like a black sun, he could have liked the black sun, and he shows it in front of people, and it was the laughter that helped drive me into this thing. So again, it's the interpretation of story. The sandwich I did not get. What was the deal with the sandwich?
The story is supposed to be you asked for almost everyone in the cafeteria to have lunch with them, but you got rejected, and you have to eat it on your own, like one by
I felt
bite.
lonely. I felt lonely having to be
okay.
there. It made me dwell longer all by myself.
Okay. The other thing that I think you can give yourself credit for is you noticed when the ahs happened. Aw, right? Every time you hit this moment, this beat thing, the audience did the ah. Was it all in the right time? It all hit the
it's
times you
supposed-
expected the ah, right? And the end, to me, the moral, don't give up, because there's always that one more. If you would have just made it to the next table, that's the story I got. Just make it to the next table. So overall, pretty good. I think the story was there. I think the art helped tell the story. I think the visuals helped tell that story. And the drawing and painting could have been maybe handled a little different, but I like it over. How close to this is what you planned? Is this what you planned?
Actually, we have like more plans, such as to improve how the interaction and transaction between different senses. But yeah, pretty close to our plan.
Okay. Again, for the room and you folks, in BBW only gives you 2 weeks. We only gave you a week and a half or whatever. You can only get so much done, but you really need to think further, think your things through, and look at everybody else's projects too, and try to figure out if you think it's going to work, what doesn't work, because you are just collecting information this semester. And then next semester, you can be thinking of what you got out of this. What did you learn from this? How can you make future projects get the ah thing, right? Good? All right. I talked just long enough to get Ralph back in the room. See that? Okay, that's it. Thanks. Make sure everybody. All right, we got 17. Day in the life of a girl. Does any girl want to volunteer to do this? No? Anyone? She don't want to do this. I get a volunteer. Anybody want to do this one? Who wants to do this one? I'm looking for a woman. Lady. Anybody? Come on up. So just be ready. You're going to try to tell them, you're giving them constructive feedback when you're complete. Good? I'll start it up. You take over.
Your call.
You don't have to if you don't feel comfortable, okay?
that's fairly early to be getting up. 07. Huh. Heart, I guess. Okay. Okay, hair tie. Wait, how does this work? This one's
Does it
flush.
take a click?
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
It's click and drag. There we go. Cute little pigtails. Okay, makeup. Oh no, there's the picture. So what? A photo again? There we go. Okay. Oh, there we are. Let's see. I'm not, oh, there we go. Okay, color changes when I can click on something. There we go.
Oh,
Talk to the parents. Cry about it. Friend. Shopping, I guess. Can I try any of the other hats? Nope, it's just the blue one. Okay.
nice.
Picture. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh, music change. I'm in trouble. Can't do anything. Okay. I get everything up? There we go. There we go. Oh, okay. This, I guess, choose the sad one again. Oh. Punch him. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh, a diary. Can I open it? Be brave.
Just whatever you remember, Hannah, and if not, then we'll...
Okay. I was in the initial run through. I was hoping that I would be able to figure out a way to kind of change the parent's mind. You did end up doing that later, even if it wasn't in real life. I wish I had had the chance to choose whether to tell the girlfriend about what had happened. That was kind of something I felt like, okay, is she gonna say it? Do I get an option there? I had gotten an option before with the emojis or whatever. It was difficult for me to figure out what was clickable. At first I thought it was the like mouse would change. I'm not sure if that was an actual thing. I think at least for part of it, it was like the mouse changed color, but it was a little subtle. And so I was just clicking over random stuff, trying to figure out what was doable. Other than that, I liked the story. I thought it was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Hannah. Thank you very much. So the UI worked, like there were certain things you did well when you had the panel, but we saw a sliver of the panel we knew. She actually did find her way through this. Even though there was a little bit of frustration, she did find her things. Some of it could have been a little more obvious. But some people like finding, discovering, so it depends on who the user is. So, and you did hear the uh-oh music change. Did you hear her say that? So she knew something was coming around the bend. You had double forwarding. You had the little arrow thing that moved me forward, and you also had the other clicking thing. So it fell a little split, but I understand what you did. The clear off thing, I get it. And on a handheld device, that would have been beautiful because I could just, meh, but here it might have just been a little long. The dream, I'm going to wait and ask my question at the end. I have another question that might screw things up.
Yeah, going with the swipe. You were the second project to use the swipe, so it's like, oh, it took a little bit of the, oh, wow, that's so neat,
Yeah, right.
away from it.
Right.
But you used it at least 3 times. And the thing about an interesting mechanic is it's like, oh, it gets an aha the first time, then it's a, oh, the second time, and then it starts to become work. So you may want to hold back on overusing that,
Yeah.
because otherwise it just gets watered down, and it's just going to be more of a challenge for you as games like Florence start to sprinkle out really cool mechanics, and as Unity provides ways of doing these cool mechanics, it becomes more of a challenge to you guys to discover interesting ways to have that sort of a transition from one emotion to another inside of a shot, in addition to the swipe action. That I liked it, but that liking it got diminished by the 3rd time I saw it.
Yeah, it was really very nice. Who's the artist? The 3 of you are artists? Really nice art. I really enjoyed that. I really liked the look of it. It seemed to fit really well with the story you're telling. Music, great. It worked really well with the story, with the art. Everything seemed to work really well. Now, when Hannah was on the makeup screen, could she have, she put the earrings on, could she, but there was a brush there, makeup brush and a little makeup, sort of, could she have used those also to put makeup on the person?
No, because we make, it's not the earring, it's the
Hair bows.
Yeah, and we make it shiny, so the user will know it's interactable. It is.
Actually, we want to make more interactions here, but we don't think it's necessary than any other interactions or storytelling part. So we do other things first, and we don't have enough time for this part.
Right, yeah. I was just curious. I wanted to know whether that was she could have done more to that. Also, in the hat shop, she picked the blue hat. Could she have picked other hats? Were other hats active? Because I couldn't tell what was active and what was not, some cases.
During the conversation, and the girlfriend think she want to buy a hat, and it's the same hat as the night scene. They are the same. And also, in that scene, in the hat shop scene, that blue hat is shiny, so the user will know it's that.
But no other hat was shiny, correct?
Yeah.
Good, okay.
Yeah, these are good points in terms of how much interaction do I really have. So if I would have put the hair ties in, and then I see myself with the hair ties all throughout, it's like, oh, that's neat. If I do it again and not put the hair ties in and see all the rest of the scenes don't have me with hair ties, it's like, wow, they're very clever. They're only using the art assets based on the choices I'm making. I get to drive my look throughout the rest of the experience. It increases your logic, it blows up your art assets, so you have to decide, is it worth it? But it would give me that extra power of having some more agency in what's going on in terms of how I look.
The impression I get of this team is you thought through this story together. There was a lot here, and you have multiple artists. You all contributed. It felt balanced. So it feels like you had to communicate to each other. This was an in-depth story for my own sake. Was the whole end part a dream? The whole part of the happiness was just a dream, or was that real?
It's the dream.
It was the dream, right?
The dream make the main character change her mind.
Right.
Yeah, because we think we can't really change our mind or really make up one's mind just in a day. So we make the kind of happy ending in a dream instead of a realistic thing.
So the diary flew by. I think the diary it might be able to be presented a little longer, or find a way to give us those one at a time or something. Yeah. Because it flew by, and that's a powerful point, right? That's the most powerful part of the story, is at the end where she decides to do these things, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, good. Anything else?
It was in depth. It was in depth. You guys put a lot of time in this, and you thought it out really well. I got a little confused, to be honest. I wasn't quite sure where the relationship was going, and but other than that, yeah, you guys put a lot of time and effort into this. It was really done well. Nice, very nice.
If you don't want people, if you want people to know the dream sequence, you might want to treat that a little different. like the dream part of this?
Yeah, we changed the color, and all the color in Dream are like pink, a little bit pink.
Could be, but some users might just view that as the mood is getting happier. Just something to think about. It works.
And I want to reiterate what Mike said about doing like when you scroll over the color, write the black and white to color. You have to be careful about doing it more than once or more than twice or three times. It gets old really fast. One time's usually the key.
Or find a way to thin it as you go, right? The first one, clear the whole thing. Second one, start to clear. Third
Yeah,
one.
because we want to use that to show all the happy memories of
Understood.
the day.
Yeah, it makes sense what you tried to do. We're just trying to get momentum and pace in there, right?
Yeah.
Good?
Or if you want to do it again, you could have, instead of revealing the color,
Actually,
you could have
if-
revealed words or something else. Could have changed it up a little bit.
Or a bigger pen.
Yeah,
Couple swipes.
actually, it's if you draw first time and next time you just click, the whole picture will be finished. But you can keep drawing, so it will not finish.
Got it.
Yeah.
Really nice. Good job, guys.
Yeah, very
Thank
good.
you.
All right, we're going to try an experiment on this one. It's audience participation vocally.
Ooh.
We're going to try the microphone first. If it works off my laptop, we're just going to roll with it. If not, then we need a couple minutes to prep this. So let's try it first. You folks are going to know this by the visual at the beginning, right? Correct? Everybody has to wake up. Put your phones down on this one. Thank you.
Yes! Yeah! Oh, it's not moving.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa! Joe!
Punch. Kick. Punch. You did it, kid. You're ready. Now get out there and give him hell.
So much. Thank you so much for participating. This is working.
Ooh, all right.
Very playful mix of real-world shots and the art. And I like the red callouts. I don't know how much time you left for iteration, because whenever it landed, like a couple times the body was curved and looked like it was actually moving with the way the punch would go, that really worked. Or when you spawned the monster punch out of the two hands, that really worked. There was one time at least where the punch started and then part of the face or hand was erased, and it's like, oh, if we could only go back and clean up. How much more time would you have wanted to clean up some of the visuals to really land the rest of these shots? And how much iteration did you do to clean up things?
We actually don't want to clean up that. We want to keep the kind of rough but like funny style, to make sure that is unreal but kind of real.
Yeah, so for me, all the funny animations, the funny frame rate, the funny motions worked. When things were erased out of the human body posture, it took away a bit. It's like, oh, too bad. And maybe that was just my viewing.
It was too funny. Should be all against too funny. But it was wacky. The first thing I thought about was Scott Pilgrim, the movie Scott Pilgrim. I thought it looked just like that. I went, they got a Scott Pilgrim thing going on. It's very clever, very clever. I love the art style. It added to that sort of, crazy, wacky humor. And the voice, using the voice. Now, did it really matter whether we were doing it? If the audience wouldn't have been loud, would have just gone up anyway?
So the mechanic is all the previous interaction will turn into a multiplier at the end.
I see.
So there will be a multiplier based on how you do from the beginning, and we multiply that with the volume at the end, so that to make sure it will be easier for player to win at the end.
So in the scene where he's deciding whether to eat healthy or not healthy, it was a matter of the loudness of the volume. The mechanic was that which decided which one to use.
Yes. So the second one is a comparison between both volumes for each side. So we asked the player to take a choice essentially.
Cool. Yeah.
The story was there, right? I got the deal. There was a good conclusion at the end. There was participation. It felt like they were moving the story ahead. Did me eating junk food make a difference? And somebody might ask that.
Yes, it does. It just reduced the multiplier at the end.
Got it. Okay. So, but from the user's point of view, they might not have got that, maybe?
Yeah, for now it's not that obvious, but...
Still okay. It was. You saw how they got active. You saw how many people wanted the junk, right? People like breaking things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people usually go for the, wonder what would happen if I give somebody an umbrella kind of thing, right? Good?
Right. Yeah.
Anything else?
No, it was funny. It was great. It was really cool.
So this is, I really don't like doing this kind of thing. 4-person team, a lot of work here. It feels like you folks hustled and you made a plan and stuck to it. Is this true?
Yeah.
Is this delivered the way you wanted it to be delivered?
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to deliver from the beginning.
Okay.
Good answer.
And scope felt okay?
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Mike, that's it.
That's it. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much.
Give Michael a hand. All right, Mike. Well, that's it, man. Wow. Good stuff, guys. Really good stuff.
Man.
Exciting stuff today.
Okay, so there you go. Think back. I'm going to send you a little retrospective kind of thing just to ask yourself a couple questions. Moving forward now, you got pitches next Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
I think we might be doing them all in one day.
Yep. We're going to
to
probably split them up, right, John?
Yeah, we're going to move you into 2 groups. I'm going to take half you, and then Ralph's going to take half.
The lucky ones will have John. The unlucky ones will
So
have
then
me.
that way you're really getting naive user and feedback too. So then when we're giving feedback, so we're going to try to do that. We gave you guys 3 days on this just so we can give you feedback and so you get more of process feedback. It's too easy for us to just go to the end because you really don't have enough time. You heard everybody in here saying we didn't get a chance to or we wish we could have. So it's really not fair for us to really slam your end product because you could refine it. So you really got to listen. That's why we gave you 3 days. So if you're in this room and you're not listening to what we're saying to other teams, you're cheating yourself. So just be thinking of those things, right? Even if you're down here, you should still be listening, hopefully, so you can take these things forward with you. Good? Any questions or comments on the projects moving forward? Let me clarify something. This is traditional media that you're going to be making for this project.
Yep, traditional.
You can use animation, you can do different things, but it's a start, click, and run, because in Festival, it's going to be on this screen. The other things might be, the interactives might be upstairs in the classroom, but everything else is going to be on the screen.
Yeah, linear. It's a linear piece.
Really try to think back of what we've been talking about, the visuals, what makes a story. It's asking good questions and giving them the right answers. A couple different emotions, use your emotion wheel. I saw some of your pitches already for the Pixar prompt, so I feel good.
Yeah, me too.
Cool?
I'm feeling good, man. This is really, we're ending strong. Usually we see like about now a drop in intensity.
I'm seeing some of that.
Are you? You're seeing some of that?
Some of that, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it so much. The projects, even today, the projects today were really
we'll
like,
give you that.
I thought they were they were raised up. The levels were raised on them. Yeah, and it looked like a lot of these projects look like you spent way more time than you actually did on them, which is because you don't have that time. You know, it's really quick. It's a real quick and dirty kind of thing. But they're looking good. You guys are thinking creatively, and that's what really, is important. Process is a whole other issue. I know John's always concerned about the process and how that's working, and it will be when you move on into the next semester, working on, the projects for the whole term.
Well,
Actually, it even gets harder when you're working on a project for the whole term. We all say it's easier, but it's really actually not. It gets more, you have to pay way more attention to the details and the process, and you get way more feedback from all the faculty at different points throughout the term. So it does get harder. It gets a little bit more confusing, and it all depends also what project you're on as well.
So I did mention this before, I feel a bit of a hypocrite standing in front of you. I am a creative, formerly trained as an artist, musician, writer, things like that. So I'm all spontaneity. That's how I create. I grab a camera, run out, I start painting. That's the way it rolls. The reason we hammer you with process is because you folks are going to be working on teams. Everyone needs a starting point. You have to understand each other. But then feel free to break that process if it improves your product. If you're inspired or something happens, feel free to do that. A lot of you have been saying, well, that we didn't plan this, but man, look, it made the whole thing better.
Right.
So you got to have your process in place, go through that for the benefit of the team and the other departments in other companies, but then you have a chance to adapt.
Yeah, remember I said this at the beginning of the semester too, and this is Randy Pausch's quote all the time. I always remember this. Randy would say, you think you come here to learn how to make video games and then be cool and do interactive stuff, but really that's the head fake is you're learning how to work in teams and work with each other, to play well with each other.
I'm going to say a couple things out loud in the room, just so everyone hears it. We've had meetings with a bunch of you teams because you're having a little bit of struggle, right? The idea is to learn not so much how to get the team to adapt to what you want, it's how you fit into things, right? How you grow into those parts. So this last project, try to think a little more about the mechanic or the process of how you're going to make decisions. Try to keep the emotion out of it. If you still have problems, make an appointment with me or Ralph. We got 1 more month to make it through this, and then we get to do it all again next semester. Yeah.
Not even a month, less than a month.
Yeah, it's a little less than a month.
Yeah,
Working days.
It is. So no class Friday?
Yeah, if I can riff off that just for a second. There's a lot of events going on up on campus Friday. Break yourself away from this place. You need to do that and go up there and enjoy a little bit of that, or go find something else in Pittsburgh that you've never done before. Make sure you do that, because the next couple weeks are going to be really heavy on you, and you think you need Friday. You don't. You need balance in your life. You need to do that.
All right, is that it?
I can keep talking, but I think
I think we should let him go. Give him a break. So if there's improv today, right? Okay, please help. And also, I was meeting a group at 12, so as soon as I'm done, come on up and see me. And Angela, could you come up? I want to ask you a question about something.
Find your mentors. If you have not done that yet, talk to them. And seek out your TAs for advice as well.
Yes. Angela's not here? Yeah, man, there's some good stuff. So, let me turn